Okay, so it baffles me how much Overwatch and Blizzard have gotten things right in these last couple of months, while still simultaneously managing to just absolutely get cosmetics wrong, and how to deliver cosmetics wrong. I mean, they are literally spitting in the face of us at this point when it comes to some of these cosmetics and the way they're distributed on top of loot boxes. I'll get to loot boxes in a second, but I just want to say that there's been a lot of great things going on with Overwatch, but the one thing that I think has remained absolutely terrible, like a year ago, this game was bad all around. Like, there was a lot of terrible things happening, and then obviously recently it started getting much better, but the one thing that is still just as bad as always is skins and the skin delivery, right? It's the shop, it's loot boxes, and it's all of these different monetization systems that we have to deal with. Like, I am actually bored of the shop now. I don't know how it's possible, but I'm bored of the shop. Like, I used to every week be excited to go and, you know, see the new skin for whatever hero, even if it wasn't my hero. I used to be excited to go and see the new skin or whatever. But now, what I do is every Tuesday I open up the shop and I see the same 3 things that I've seen for the last 3 weeks, right? Like some mega bundle or some collaboration that I've seen for the last 3 weeks. I don't care anymore. I want new skins, and sometimes I see, you know, the little change in the bottom right corner, and it's, you know, a couple of skins that the cosmetics team has been working on, or whatever, the design team's been working on, and they're always beautiful, but the problem is I just don't care anymore. And it's not because of the quality of the skins, it's not, they're fantastic, it's just the way it's delivered to me. At this point, I'm bored. Fortnite has like 7 pages on their, you know, their shop every week, and I think it might change twice a week. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but they have like 7 pages. What I used to hate about Apex was how terrible their shop delivery system is, and it's gotten a little bit better lately. But what really is awful, what is so egregiously bad, recently especially, are the loot boxes. How on earth have they tricked us into being okay with these loot boxes? Why are we not more angry? Where are all the Overwatch 1ers who were screaming at the top of their lungs saying we need loot boxes back for them to give it to us? And they, in fairness, when they first gave it to us, they were giving us way too much. I understand that. But instead of tweaking the formula of the loot boxes themselves, they just said you're going to get a lot less. A lot less. A lot less loot boxes and a lot less fun. And I really think it's kind of stupid. All of it. I think that they needed, like I said, they needed to nerf the loot boxes. We were getting too many. But instead of kind of compensating a little bit, like us getting more higher end cosmetics because we get way less loot boxes, it's still the same. I'm still getting 80 friggin' whatever they're called, gray skins just in every single loot box. I just get a weapon charm, and that's my purple for the loot box. That's awful. That is so stupid. I should be getting a skin. I should be getting a skin if it's a purple, or if you tell me that I'm getting a legendary loot box, and you give me a damn emote. Like, for a character that I don't play. Oh, and gosh, that's another thing. Not only do they need to make, like, the percentages better somehow, for you getting, like, rare items, right? But they also just need to make it so that it somehow is coordinated with the heroes you play. So it needs to, and I know this is really difficult and not exactly a reasonable ask, but it would be great. Like, we have the power. It's 2025. How do we not have this? Anyway, they need to make it so that, like, your top 5 heroes are prioritized for, like, a legendary loot box, right? Like, you'll get a legendary skin, and it's higher likelihood to get to your top 5 heroes. Like, let's say your top 5 heroes are Reaper, Roadhog, and, you know, whatever. Those heroes would be prioritized in your loot box. Like, if you're a Mercy main, that hero would be prioritized in your loot box. Even if you play Mercy for 150 hours of gameplay and the next best is only 2 hours, that, you know, you only play Juno for 2 hours, that'll still get, you'll still have a decent chance of getting the Juno. It won't go off of time played, it'll just literally go off of top 5. I think that's a great way to do it. I don't know if it's plausible, I don't even know, but what I do know is that giving us literally just completely different loot boxes, right? So, like, we now have legendary loot boxes, and we have epic loot boxes, and we have a regular loot box, and the epic and legendaries guarantee those specific things, right? They guarantee an epic or legendary, but, like, it just ruins the fun of the loot box. Like, I know I'm gonna get something legendary, and half the time I know it's gonna be a charm. or half the time I know it's gonna be a rare voice line or something, or an epic voice line or something, you know? So like, it just makes me not care. And that's the biggest problem, is I don't care. And I want to care so much about this game, and so much about its art, and so much about its direction, but it just feels so soulless, right? The gameplay is there. We have good gameplay back and relatively decent balance. I've given my opinion on the recent balance lately. You can check those out. But we've had relatively okay balance. Now let's bring the game up, right? Like, let's continue to elevate the game by getting these really good, really amazing skins out to the public to actually use. There's probably, and I don't know what the number is, there's got to be like a number system out there to equate how many legendary skins, like, they just haven't released in such a long time. Like, and I know it makes people upset to have to do that, but if you get them in a loot box, it's, you know, that's just pure chance. That's just pure luck. You didn't buy it. You didn't buy the rarity of the skin. But if you get in a loot box, that's great. So, like, it's just, I don't know. It's weird, right? Like, I can't be the only one that finds this to be a little weird. And it's a non-issue, obviously. That's what this channel's about, just ranting about stupid crap. But I don't care. I want it. And I feel like you should want it too, especially if you play the game as much as I do. And all this is not even to mention the Battle Pass, because I think I'll give the Battle Pass its own video, because the Battle Pass has been pretty lackluster lately, and I think the Battle Pass is the ultimate culprit of why we have so much inflation of things that you can get in a loot box, to where you get nothing in a loot box, essentially. Like, if you have everything, you have nothing, pretty much, type deal. And I just think that the problem with that is Battle Passes. Battle Passes have so much content in them, but they just put, like, virtual slop in it, right? It's just charms, and they have banners and sprays and all these other things that most people don't want, right? Like, you want a couple and you want the good ones for your heroes, but I'm a Reaper player. I don't need a spray for Mercy, or I don't even need a spray for Zarya, who I only play at random. And I definitely do not need a spray for Tracer, who I hate, right? Like, so it's just, it's little, but it's annoying, because it could be great. And it could easily be great, but Blizzard will just want you to keep buying anyway. You know, I can't even say that, because it feels like they're losing out on money, right? It feels like they're losing out on money by not doing what I'm saying here. But maybe there's something in their way. Maybe people don't care. They probably have evidence to the contrary of what I think here, like whether or not it would work. I don't know. Again, I will ask you guys in the comments. Please tell me whether or not you even care about this. How much it pisses you off. If it pisses you off like it does me, because I know a lot of you guys watch these rants because, you know, I rant about the things that you guys also hate. Because I hate this stuff. I hate it when Overwatch does dumb stuff. So, just let me know. All right, guys.